Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakak, Wadash. A double honors to the apostles and elders at great millstone. Salutations to you brothers out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity. All right. So I'm going to get straight into the article. It says the homeland is no longer a sanctuary amid rising near-peer threats, Northcom commander says. All right. So I'm going to read a little bit of this article, but this is long overdue. Okay, this is long overdue. America has been a bully for a very long time now, and the nations are standing up, and the nations are preparing themselves. And everything we've seen happen in our world, in this world, whether it be concerning war, whether it be concerning religion, the Most High Yahweh, whom the world calls God, has a hand in doing. I would say he has a hand in, forcing the course of the river. All right. It's in the Most High's hands. OK, so what we're finding out is that America's losing its grip, its stronghold on the world, because it's waking up. The world is waking up, or I should say the Most High is waking up the nations, the leaders of the other nations, to rise up against America. All right. America for some time is what? It's been the police of the world, but it's been destabilizing countries. It's been taking a man's heritage away, displacing millions of people, destroying, infrastructure, and the same thing is going to happen to America. All right. You reap what you sow. OK, you reap what you sow. All right. Not to even mention how you've been treating the minorities, which majority of the minorities here in America, we know that's a degrading term. We'll just go with it. We know we're more in number than you so-called white people, which you're Edomites. All right. We only call you white people because you can easily identify who we're talking about. All right. But for so long, you've been oppressing, God's people, the blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, in the confusion of face, those who may look like other nations, but their lineage goes back to being Israelites. All right. For so long, you've been oppressing us. Jim Crow laws. All right. Slave leasing. You even got the prison industrial complex. All right. Even in your education world, your public school sectors, you've been deliberately dumbing us down. You don't even give us our history the way you're supposed to. All right. You've been depriving us for a very long time. And the elites, and we're talking about the elites. I don't care about you, you regular Joe Schmo, day-to-day working 9 to 5, so-called white people. We can care less about y'all. Y'all in the pool right along with everybody else. You're gonna find out that the powers that be, they can care less for you just as much as they don't care for us. All right. And these the elites. But what's happening to America is overdue, man. All right. So this is basically saying, I'm gonna read into the article, and then I'm gonna get into some scriptures, and Lord willing, you brothers and sisters be edified. And Lord willing, you nations that are not Israelites, Lord willing, you be terrified. All right, because judgment is coming. You can call us a hate group. You can call us whatever you want. You cannot stop the prophecies of the Heavenly Father. All right. So I'm gonna go into it. It says New Orleans. All right, because they had the speech in New Orleans. All right. It says the U.S. homeland is no longer a sanctuary, according to the 4-star general in charge of both U.S. Northern Command and North American Aerospace Defense Command, Air Force General Terrence O'Shaughnessy ended a speech at the 140th National Guard Association conference in New Orleans this weekend with a warning that the era of great power competition doesn't leave the U.S. mainland uncontested. All right. And we know that, the elites, we'll just call them the elites. All right. Who've infiltrated the American government, have been passing executive orders saying that this place, America, is a battlefield. Other executive orders that they have signed, setting up FEMA to hoard all the resources. We understand what's basically happening. We can connect the dots. All right. And this place, America, is headed for the worst. And you can thank your leaders, man. You can thank the government that's been infiltrated by what we call the Illuminati or whatever, minions for the bankers, to keep this place in disarray until eventually, when the time comes, they're going to try to detain the majority of the population and feed them that RFID chip, all right, which is the mark of the beast. We know these things are coming up the pipeline, all right? These things we cannot stop. We just go out there and say it. That's why we call ourselves prophets, to say before, all right? Because every prophet before us spoke against kingdoms, all right? Jeremiah 28:8. But I'll continue. It says, pure level adversaries are probing U.S. defenses in multiple domains, and the continental United States is well within their sights. All right. And we know that the elites are going to be generating crises. They're going to be blaming, creating boogeymans. So the population can be scared, and fear. And that's what they're going to be selling. They're going to be selling a whole lot of fear. It's going to be a whole lot of, chaos. But through chaos, they bring their order. And we know about that. All right. Which a lot of you Americans know. All right. And you're just going to be right along right along with a lot of these dumbass Americans, whether they be 2/3 Israelites. That's what we call them. 2/3 of our nation are going to get destroyed because they don't have, fruits meet for repentance, meaning they can't change. They still think with the mentality that they do, a destructive mentality. So they're going to die too. And we're not worried about them. We're only worried about the elect of God, and the Lord is going to save, man. All right. And not all Israelites are black. OK, that's an oxymoron. Black is not a nationality. It's not a race. OK, there's no such thing as a black race of people. All right. You got Hebrews. All right. Call us by the names that God gave us. All right. And stop lying. OK, it says Salakia. It says so peer level adversaries are probing U.S. defenses in multiple domains, and the continental United States is well within their sights. We are in a changing security environment. O'Shaughnessy said, we used to think about the sanctuary we had with oceans and friendly countries to our north and south, but that's changing with adversaries that are actually able to reach out and touch us now. All right. And this is biblical what's happening for all you short-sighted Americans, man, for all you short-sighted world citizens, man, because that's what you are now. OK, it's a global economy. It's a global effort to bring all you people into captivity under the bankers. All right. And there's no turning back. They have infiltrated every government in the world. All right. And they got their plan sewed up. OK, it says so the point is biblical. These nations, these other nations are able. They're readily able to arm themselves. They're readily able to attack America. A lot of you have a lot of pride for America. But what you don't understand is that the Most High is about to judge America. All right. The scriptures talk about the house of the thief and how the Lord has entered into the house of the thief. And the Lord's eyes are 1,000 times brighter than the sun. No man can hide what they've been doing for so long. The Lord has talked about him lifting up the skirts of Babylon, which Babylon is America. All right. And if you don't believe that, just look it up. All right. Babylon being America. For all you Americans out there, man, who want to hold on to, the United States, which is not, it's not a United States. All right. And let's just get that clear. You've been duped. You've been lied to. All right. And the most lied to people are you blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. All right. Because you thought that you could live among these Edomites and live prosperously alongside them. All right. You've been lied to. The American dream is actually a nightmare. OK, it says the concern falls in line with Defense Secretary Jim Mattis' new national defense strategy, which prioritizes peer level adversaries as greater threats and lower end insurgent forces like those seen in Iraq and Afghanistan over the past decade. All right. And if there ever were, if there's ever a concern with that type of, insurgency, you can thank your leaders, man. All right. You can thank your leaders who allow immigrants to come over here in America and so on and so forth. OK, because they've been strategically planning America's downfall for the longest. All right. They strategically planned World War III, that Mazzuni Pike plan. Everything is planned. All right. All right. So I'm not going to even read any more of the article. I'm going to just get into these scriptures because, like I said, the downfall of America is scriptural. All right. This is not the kingdom of heaven. OK. And first and foremost, this is Jeremiah 28:8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right. So prophets before us, OK, they prophesied against great kingdoms. All right. There were even greater kingdoms than America. All right. Who had way more than 50 states, over 140 different provinces. OK, at one point in time. All right. The prophet that which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. All right. So, and likewise, if the prophet speaks on evil things and evil things come to pass, then you know he's the prophet of the Lord. All right. See, a lot of you Americans have this thing misconstrued. You have God misconstrued because you put God into a box and you said, look, this is how my God is. No, well, it's the other way around. The Lord has put you people into a box. All right. And his way is going to prosper. All right. You're not going to do anything on the earth that's evil to another nation and you not pay for it. And that's what we're seeing happening in America. All right. So next scripture is Isaiah, just to prove that the Most High is bringing down this America. All right. Let me see. I'll start at verses 13. All right. Isaiah 14:13. For thou, and this is how these Edomites think, man. All right. And the Most High is calling out the Babylonian Empire, but America embodies this same imagery. All right. The same idealism. OK. So verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, which are the Israelites. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. All right. And now Babylon, spiritually, Babylon is America. Well, America is spiritually Babylon. All right. It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. All right. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Now notice it said man. All right. And this is going to happen when the elites of the world, the ones we don't get to see behind closed doors. This is what's going to happen when the kingdom of heaven is established, in whom the world calls Jesus Christ, which his name is Yahushua. When he comes back, the elites are going into slavery. All right. They're going to be put in pits. OK. And they're going to have a continual service, continual employment. All right. They're going to clean up the Holy Land after it's destroyed. All right. They're going to be the first ones being carted away into slavery. All right. It says that made the world as a wilderness. And who has done that? Who has done that other than the American military industrial complex, which is part of a triumvirate rulership that's owned by the bankers. All right. Because you got the monetary policies that rule the whole earth, the IMF, the bankers. Then you got the religious reformers of the world, which is the Roman Catholic Church, and every religion is under the Roman Catholic Church, even Islam. All right. Then you got the American military industrial complex. All right. Part of that part of that triumvirate, man. All right. Who's ruling and dominating the world right now as we speak. OK, and at the head of this rulership is the so-called white man. Edomites, the chief house of Esau. They know what's going on. They're trying to upset prophecies, and they're trying to play out prophecies as we go along, as the time gets shorter. All right. They know what they're doing. It's just you regular people don't have a clue what the hell is going on. All right. And through the Spirit of the Lord has revealed these things unto his prophets. All right. He has revealed the secrets. All right. So I'll continue. It says that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. And who are the prisoners? You blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. And how are we prisoners? We're prisoners to a system, to a corporate system. All right. The corporate infrastructure is the corporate establishment has enslaved us all. What to debt? Okay. All right. So it says all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. All right. So the kings, what it says, and that's going to be in the future to come, man. All right. But and it says, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch. All right. Because Esau Edomites are going to lose you're going to lose everything. All right. You're going to be in slavery. It says, and as the raiment of those that are slain thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit as a carcass trodden underfoot. All right. And that's more towards the future. All right. But I'm going to start at Salakia, because I could have started up at 9. All right. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Now the dead represents the kings of the nations. Well, it'll say it. It says even all the chief ones of the earth. All right. Now, why are they dead? Because really they don't have no power. All right. They have to answer to the police of the world, which is the military, American military industrial complex. All right. A lot of you people think you have ties to, you call yourself American. You're nothing but a slave to a corporate entity, which are owned by the bankers, man. Because America is a corporation. It's not divided up into 50 states. All right. And you think that, you have, certain jurisdiction and you have sovereignty. You don't. All right. It's the biggest lie that was ever told. OK, it says it stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, meaning your pride, man, and your prowess. And the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. And we see the corrosion, we see the corruption. That represents the corruption, man. All right. The American military, the American infrastructure, all right, is corroding right along with your politics, man. Okay. For God's sake, you're divided in every group in America is divided, man, whether it be political or religious. All right. So, and I got a lot of scriptures, man. So what I'll do is I'm going to cut them. I'm going to get the points that I need to bring out Isaiah 47, because the whole point of the article was saying that America's not protected anymore. It's not a sanctuary anymore. All right. And through the word, we know this. All right. So this is Isaiah 47:1. It says, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There's no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right. Because at one point, America was tender and delicate. All right. Nobody really touched America. Nobody could touch America. Now America can be touched. All right. And it's your own damn fault. You think your rulers and those that rule over this place, man. You thank them. All right. And I'm gonna get a scripture that edifies that point. You blame your leaders. Don't blame little black Sally and Bonquisha that you see on a daily basis, which a lot of you Edomites, you're gonna take your anger out on these blacks, these helpless black people who've been deprived of knowledge and understanding and wisdom, who've been dumbed down in your school system. You're gonna take out your anger on them. All right, you're gonna kidnap the women. You're gonna harvest their organs for you Satanists out there. All right, All right, so it says take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. And it's talking about the jobs, how they left America, man. They left America, okay? It says thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance. And all right, so the nakedness of what? America's secret parts, man. All right. We understand what the history of America is and what America was built off of. America was built off of sheer prejudice, sheer hatred for minorities. All right. And that's why we have the race conversation coming up. And you see these Edomites, these so-called white people who hate you blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, who hate everybody around them. All right, because they want the world to themselves, but they had it for the longest, and they've been destroying the earth. All right, and they haven't been doing anything to save themselves. All right, it says thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. And that's why the Most High he's coming. He's going to come in his angelic power to take out the very high ones. All right, he's going to take out the world army. All right, because World War III is going to be happening when the Heavenly Father and his Son decide to, come and take their claim, which is the earth. All right. That's the Lord's inheritance. All right. The earth and the people is his inheritance, too. The heathen nations are our inheritance. All right. So it says, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. All right. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. And that's what is happening to America right now. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. All right. And it's very ironic that you got the Statue of Liberty and she's a lady, and that's supposed to represent America. All right. When you come over here on the shores of America, that's the first thing you see when tourists come from other countries. All right. It says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. And is it not actual facts that we were carted away in slave ships and given to you Americans, and we built America? All right. Thou didst shew them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily heavily laid thy yoke. All right. You didn't show us no mercy in slavery. All right. You damn sure right after slavery came, you showed no mercy even up until this time. All right. You use everything in your power to set us back. OK. It says, therefore, hear now this, thou art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly. And America does. All right. They don't care about God. They don't care about anything, man. All right. They're giving rights to homosexuals, transgenders. They haven't even given black men rights. All right. But you're giving everybody else that's perverse rights. America's going to reap what is sowed, man. All right. It says that dwelleth carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And that's what you Americans, that's what you think. All right. There's no other nation beside you. All right. It says, I shall not sit as a widow. That's what y'all think. Neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to see that. All right. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment. And in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. All right. And that's going to be the repercussion, man. All right. All right. And this is to prove that Babylon is talking about Edom. All right. This is Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. All right. So we got a history extending back further than the so-called white man would want you to know, that the nation, the same white people that you see today, their foreparents stood by and watched other nations rape, pillage, and rob us. OK, and they stood there and they clapped their hands and they were happy to see our downfall on many occasions. All right. It says, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. All right. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. All right. So you're going to be rewarded exactly how you served us. All right. OK. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone, because you did it to the North American Indians. All right. You even worship these old passed away generals, you know, General Ulysses Grant, you know, and these men, these Confederate generals who rape, rob, and pillage helpless babies, North American Indian babies, you know, who raped and robbed and killed and murdered you blacks, Latins, and Native Americans throughout the course of centuries, man. All right. America's going to get its payback, and there's nothing you can do about it. All right. But take your anger out on unsuspecting civilians. All right. What you so-called white people are going to do. All right. Then you're going to blame us because we bring the truth. OK, because you're cowards. All right. And with that, I'm going to end the lesson, man. But there's plenty of scriptures, man, that I can go through and expose you so-called white people, man, because your time is over with. You know it just like everybody else knows it in the world. All right. Here we go. I'm going to end on this. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verses 4, it says, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So is the so-called white man profitable? The 50% of the coral reefs have been depleted, even more. All right. It's a large amount of deforestation that's happened in the earth, which is imbalancing the earth's, you know, the earth's atmosphere. OK. You got oceanic life is being destroyed off because it's plastic. They're eating plastic. OK. But now they want to have humanitarian efforts and, you know, they want to do a thing for save the world. It's too late for that, man. You can thank the people that's rulers above you, man, and which I'm going to get. It says Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verses 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And we know the origin of America. It's pure racism. It's pure prejudice. It's pure hatred for you blacks, Latins, and Native Americans. All right. Despite what they're talking about in their establishments now. OK, because there's too far gone to try to change something, to try to change racism. All right. So what? The elites at the top, they're very racist. They're very prejudiced. They're very hateful. So, and we see the fruits of their own people, man. We see the fruits within their own people. All right. Verse 3, it says, an unwise king. It says, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right. Verse 5, I'm gonna jump to 5. In the hand of God is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. All right. Here we go. This is for you Americans. Ecclesiastes 10:7. It says, pride is hateful before the Most High and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. And you so-called white men and women have committed a huge transgression against the Heavenly Father. All right. You continually beating down on his people. You continually looking down on his people. You look the other way when oppression is happening to his people. You have done nothing to save us. You haven't done nothing to save yourselves. All right. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. All right. We can point out the companies, billion-dollar, trillion-dollar corporations that made money off of slavery, and that was their first start, and still are alive and well today, who have not given reparations, who have not paid our people back in any way, shape, or form. All right. Instead, you gave us a system, a welfare system, to keep us within the system, and not, you didn't make us self-sustaining. You didn't give us our own country back. All right. So you're left with the bill, man. All right. You got JP Morgan, you got Chase Bank. They made trillions of dollars off of slavery. All right. They still make billions and trillions of dollars off of our people today, man. All right. It says the kingdom is translated. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. All right. It says, why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such and one setteth his own soul to sell. And that's Esau. All right. Because while he liveth, he cast away his bowels, meaning his bowels, meaning his inner thoughts, his inner feelings. All right. But with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushua Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and those that great millstone. Lord willing, you brothers and sisters will edify. Hey, Shalom.